Hello, this is Billy Core from the Nostalgia Mall, and welcome to a very special episode of the Nostalgia Mall. What we have here today is my latest computer acquisition, one that I had to take a mini road trip to get. This is a Packard Bell Legend 204 CD, manufactured March 28th, 1995. And this was sold to me for a very reasonable price by YouTube user AllBootMax. So go check his channel out if you'd like. I believe he does a lot of Macintosh stuff. More on that later, by the way. This is a 486 model Packard Bell, not a Pentium. This is the third 486 Packard Bell I've owned. The first was a Legend 20 CD from around the same time frame as this, but the motherboard, the CPU oscillator coil got desoldered from the board, and it wasn't worth fixing that, unfortunately. Second one was the PB 1750 CDT, which was a wonderful computer I had for a year or two, but wound up having to sell. But this is the third one, and from what he told me, this does indeed work. It boots to the BIOS at least. So let's take a tour of the machine, shall we? Alright, let's flip it around first of all. This is the 3x3 desktop formation. Floppy drive, CD-ROM drive, presumably this is a double speed. Look at the back. And here we are. There's the date code, March 28th, 1995. This was back when Packard Bell had their sound cards and modems separate. The modem is right here and is actually a daughter card that's connected to the sound card. At least I think it is. Probably wrong. And it looks like someone's already been in here and added a second dial-up modem there, which I will probably be removing. In fact, I know I'll be removing it because there's no use for it. Serial, parallel, VGA out, PS2 mouse, and PS2 keyboard, which, by the way, got the original keyboard and the original mouse with this system. But that's not all. For free, as a little surprise, he gave me this. Good day in the morning. I now own an original Imac G3 Bondi Blue. I believe this is probably one of the originals. I've secretly kind of wanted one of these over the years, but was never seriously pursuing one. Presumably it works. I got the hockey puck mouse with it as well, the infamous hockey puck mouse, but that's still in the car right now. I forgot to bring it in. Did not get the keyboard with it, but this is USB based, so I can just use just about anything with it. A little bit dirty. I did clean it up a little bit, but there's a little bit of browning under the case, so maybe whoever originally owned this back in the day smoked. But my experience with these Imac G3s is that in 1998 the library in my elementary school bought a whole bunch of these, and they had them on a big round table, and because I remember in second or third grade using one of these to play Kid Picks on. So yeah, I have used these before, but it's been almost 20 years since I last used it. And as you know, these came in different colors. This is the Bondi Blue, which is my preferred color for one of these. Flip it around. We got the ports right here. And there is supposed to be a door right here covering this up, but it is missing. Here are the ports. We've got microphone in, headphone out, 2 USB ports, Ethernet, and dial-up modem. And on the back, nothing except for the standard power connection. Carrying handle, you see a little bit of dirt under there. Again, I did clean this a little bit when I got it home, but it does need further cleaning. Wouldn't it be horrible if it fell off the workbench? Wouldn't it be even more horrible if it fell off the workbench and landed on my foot? Because this thing is very, very heavy. And on the front we got a, what I assume to be a CD reader, CD-ROM reader. This is not the slot loading one. I believe that came later on in the Imac G3 life. Got a power button, which I will have to use since I don't have the original keyboard, and two headphone jacks. I remember the iMacs at my elementary school, we did utilize these dual headphone jacks, so two students could use headphones on the same iMac, which was really cool. And I assume this is a microphone, I think. But I'm going to wait to test this a little bit later on because, no surprise here, I'm more interested in the Packard Bell. So let's go ahead and give that a try, shall we? Okay, got a rudimentary test station here. Yes, this is the same Dell LCD that I threw a power supply at last week. Again, I still feel stupid about that. So I've already got everything plugged in, got the original keyboard and mouse hooked up to it. Go ahead and switch on the power strip. Turn the monitor on. We'll wait for it to, there we go. Well, here we go, folks. First power on of the Legend 204 CD. Alright. Well, as we can see, it does post very well. Looks like we're working with only about 4 megabytes of memory. I figured this came originally with 8, but oh well, I have more memory to add to it. Clock battery is dead, and unfortunately it's a soldered battery, but I do, excuse me, have a Tataram battery that I think I could connect to this board. I originally bought it for the Legend 20 CD, but then it wound up going belly up. But I kept that battery, and hopefully after several years of sitting in a box it'll still work. But let's just go ahead and see if it'll boot into anything. And it just stops right there. We can at least go into setup. CMOS checksum is invalid. Okay. Let's see, it's about 5:30 in the afternoon. I have had these boards before, so this is Y2K compliant. Today is February 15th of, well, apparently we're in medieval times now. 2018. There you go. Okay, it's not seeing the hard disk. That's concerning. But it did see a D drive there. I'll probably be opening this system up. Take a look at what's going on. Now, the good news about this system, despite it being a 486, you're probably worried that the battery has exploded and leaked all over the motherboard. Thankfully, this uses a coin cell, so that should not be a problem. Okay. I might have misread it. I think it might actually be about 35 megabytes of RAM. I've had a long day. I can't read, folks. And again, we're not booting. So yeah, new battery might be... Oh, wait. Well, we got an operating system not found. But it is indeed a 486DX2. It's clocked at 66 megahertz, but it doesn't say that. So, let's get a screwdriver and open this computer up. Okay, it's missing this screw right here, but we still got these two. This computer has already been opened up at some point in its 23-year life to add that modem. So the QA seal has indeed been broken. Cosmetically, this computer is in beautiful condition. I do wish it would have the spec sticker still on it, but oh well, no big deal. Alright, let's see what we got here. Okay, here's the innards. Here's the sound card. Surprisingly, this CD-ROM is connected to the motherboard and not the sound card. This was manufactured February 1995, the CD-ROM at least. Don't know if that's the original hard drive. Looks like a Quantum Fireball. We'll be adding a CF card into this system. But I don't recall Packard Bell ever using any quantum hard drives at this point in their history. I know they did by around 97 or so, but... And there's the unoriginal modem. And there's our good old-fashioned 486. And the modem on the daughter card, which is actually plugged right straight into the motherboard, but it does have a cable going to the sound card, so I was halfway right. Floppy drive, CD-ROM there, power supply, everything looks accounted for. I will do a separate video where I attempt to get this to boot, and most importantly get a battery going in here, so yeah, let's go ahead and test that iMac. Alright, just need to plug the AC power into it. Got the matching Bondi Blue hockey puck mouse, which from what I understand was not well received, so I will probably not be using it full time. Also using a highly inappropriate Dell keyboard. That's just what I had lying around. Don't judge me. The trick is getting this cord in there. I think the end of this plug is a little bit on the fat side to be used here. So let me try this one from the that Dell monitor. Alright, there we go, got it. We still on screen there. Okay. Alright. Moment of truth. Alright, got the chime. Hard drive's winding up. CRT is CRTing. Happy Mac. I'm gonna guess OS 9. Yep, OS 9.1. Probably be putting a fresh copy of 9.22 on here. It's probably chock full of personal documents, which I will not be showing on camera, obviously. He said he had some kind of program on here that had a virtual Windows 95 or 98, one of the two. Let's drive open here. Indeed it does. Date's a little off. I don't know if the battery in this one's good or not. I'm not getting an error about it. It is actually, your Macintosh's clock is set to a year before 1973, so yep, we might be needing to replace that clock. Okay, let's see if we can do system profile. Okay. Got 64 megs of RAM, 333 megahertz G3. Keyboard type is not an Apple extended keyboard, it is something highly inappropriate. No startup disk was selected. That's okay. What kind of hard drive we got in here? It's like a 6 gig Western Digital. I do believe the Maritime Girl has a video on her channel demonstrating how to open one of these up and replace the hard drive and the PRAM battery in one of these. Of course, hers was a little bit newer than this one, but I'm sure the same process will apply, so when time comes to replace those two things, I will go and reference to her video to do that. So, yeah. Let's do our traditional 90s Macintosh Fatty Bear test. Now, what is the 90s Macintosh Fatty Bear test, you may ask? Well, you see, these early Humongous Entertainment games were made with the PC in mind. So when these were ported to the Macintosh, the music wound up sounding a little bit on the funky side. So, just as we did in the Imac G3 video, we're going to listen to some wrong-sounding Fatty Bear. Okay. Well, what good is wrong-sounding Fatty Bear when you don't have sound? I believe the speakers on here might need their volume adjusted. Once I figure that out, again, Apples are not really my expertise, so forgive me. Yep, main volume is muted. Kind of an odd alert sound, but let's give this another try. Speakers are not very loud on here. Yep, wrong sounding Fatty Bear indeed. CD laser may need cleaning, but I've got a lens cleaner on the way. That should be arriving tomorrow, actually. But this video's gone on long enough, so yeah. Anyway, I guess that'll do it for this video. This was a special video, off schedule. Like I've said before, there will be videos kind of in between for special occasions like this. So I hope you enjoyed this, and a reminder that I do videos every Sunday, Tuesday, and Thursday. Let's Plays on Sunday, normal videos Tuesdays and Thursdays. You can support me on Patreon if you would like to. Link for that is in the description. But until next time, this is Billy Core, signing off.